Traffic brought to you by the Wally Kerr Team Real Estate Traffic Center on KOMA. This is my favorite time on Friday. It's the awesome 80s weekend, and we have Jeremy today, Jeremy Thurman, partner.
Oh, welcome back, dreamy.
McIntyre Law. It's in today. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing good. Of course, everything 80s this weekend, right? How about 80s stars who were big, right? But now it's like, what? Who? Can you think of any?
Oh, absolutely. I'm just going to imagine my bedroom when I was growing up in the 80s. I'm imagining the posters. We're going to start with Cindy Crawford, Alyssa Milano, and Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Right? Okay, no.
Saved by the Bell.
They all happen to be female, so, you know.
Yeah, you probably did have their posters.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, I had a bunch of hair bands.
A bunch of hair bands.
Winger.
Yeah, Winger.
What happened to Winger?
Richard Gere.
Richard Gere. He was.
I just thought about that. Yeah.
American Gigolo.
American Gigolo, yeah.
Yeah.
Even John Travolta's not big, but he was remotely during that time period.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
one of my favorite Travolta movies in the 80s is called Blowout.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
It's a great kind of underrated movie.
I never heard of Blowout
Yeah, he made the
before,
comeback in the
guys.
90s, but yeah, where's Travolta now?
I mean,
The whole cast of Saved by the Bell,
oh, yeah.
they were huge.
They were huge. Different strokes.
Different strokes,
Yeah.
they
Wow.
kind of, those were, except for Todd Bridges,
That's
everybody
true.
else kind of,
Yeah, we can talk about the Cosby Show, but we won't.
it ruined my childhood, okay?
I know it's a show like that.
But yeah, lots of stars in the 80s, not stars now. They made the tabloids thin, but not now, so...
Yeah, maybe they just don't want to be in the tabloids anymore.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Who's in the tabloids now? I have
See, I'm
no
not
clue.
like you. I don't know. I'm sure somebody doing something controversial. Hey, don't go to the grocery store. I got used to see those, though, right?
Yeah.
You get groceries delivered, or you order it and then you go pick them up.
Uber groceries
Do they ever
delivered.
have those
Yeah.
things anymore?
They do actually still,
They do.
but yeah, but they're not as like they used to be.
Yeah, now it's just all over the internet.
Yeah, the internet now grows scandals instead of gossip sheets.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Getting down to some business, and this happened in the 80s. It's happened to
Yeah.
my brother a lot, actually, in the
Oh,
80s.
wow.
When you get pulled over, what rights do you really have? Not that you're going to be a jerk to the police, but...
So I'll walk you through this. I always find it fascinating when you get pulled over and a police officer comes to you. He comes to your window. You know what the first question they usually ask you?
What's that?
What?
Were you doing? You know what you did wrong.
Oh,
You know why they're doing that? They're trying to get you to explain, to indict yourself, essentially, to say what you did wrong. So I would encourage everybody in those situations is, I don't know, officer, and can you please tell me? And so they have to have a reasonable suspicion that you're doing something wrong. So obviously speeding and stuff does that. Now the next question is, they start asking where you're coming from, where you're going and all that. You can ask for a lawyer. They don't, that's not required to be answered in those situations. They're fishing, they're hunting a little bit, right? If they have a suspicion or something, they're hunting. They don't have a right to search your car unless they have a reasonable suspicion, again, that you're committing crimes and those things. And so the way to handle it in those situations, number one, always be respectful. Like these guys are doing their job, right? And so I'm not a big believer, and I don't believe at all that you should be rude or disrespectful at any point in time. But know your rights, and your rights are very simple. Is what did I do wrong? They need to answer that question, not you. And then you just simply need to be respectful. And then even if if you get pulled over and they begin a process of questioning you, they're hunting. So you cannot be detained even unless, again, there's a reasonable suspicion you've committed a crime. Now, the Supreme Court slightly altered that on some stuff, so we'll see how that plays down in the coming months and years. Let them do the talking. Be quiet the best you can. Right?
Right. And so in Oklahoma, you have to show your registration now, don't you? Yeah.
You have to show your license, your registration, right? You have to show those things and just be cooperative. If they ask you to get out of the car, you can get out of the car. And I mean, I always struggle with this. There are certain rights you have as a citizen, right? And so you don't have to do certain things, but it often escalates those things. And so exercising rights is obviously one of the most important things we have. But always balance respectfulness with it.
So first of all, no, officer, I'm not sure what I did. You
Yeah.
have your license and registration. You used to have your insurance proof.
Yeah, you used to have that. That's
but
your phone.
now it's, here's my
Here's
phone.
my phone.
And just, I always smile.
Yeah.
Thanks, officer. Thanks.
Yeah, you gotta smile with the police
Try to be
officers, guys.
respectful. Some people, they get an attitude, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, try
I
to
know
be
that.
respectful.
What is your goal with arguing you want to accomplish? If you're just arguing, you might as well be quiet, exercise your rights to an attorney in that situation, because usually you're going to say things that mess up your situation more than help.
Sometimes times are the police going to be like, why are you asking for an attorney? I just pulled you over for speeding.
Yeah. Now, if they pull you over for speeding, I think more of the attorneys is the questions that are subsequent to that. They pull you over, okay, officer, here's my information, and it should go from there.
Yeah.
There are rules in place, and I think sometimes one of the biggest issues is we don't always understand our rights as citizens. They should want you as well to exercise your rights. They should be like, okay, cool, this guy's exercising our rights. This is a great thing. I like that. I like people who know what they're allowed and not to do. They shouldn't be offended in that situation, right? Because there are constitutional guarantees against improper search and seizure and those kind of items.
Yeah.
So I think both sides always in that situation, respect is paramount. Comply with every lawful order given. And then let it shake out. But if they start being suspicious, want to search your car, wanting to do those things, DUI situations, go ahead and exercise your rights. Talk to a lawyer. Be hands-free. Don't drink and drive. Don't use drugs and drive.
Yeah.
And just be smart. It's
Yeah.
not that complicated.
Be smart, look around, beware.
Yeah. The law says, and it's in a statute, devote your full time and attention to the roadway. And really, that is that simple. We all do that. The roadways are safer.
All right, good advice. Jeremy Thurman in for Noble McIntyre. He's off somewhere doing something, jumping out of airplanes or something like that. If they want to get in touch with you for a legal matter, what number do they call?
Sure, 405-777-7000, or you can go to our website at www.mcintyrelaw.com.
It's easy. And also, asknoble@tylermedia.com.
That's right.
All right, thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
You too. From the Lucky
Alright, that was our talk with Dreamy Thurman. I know we normally do it with Noble McIntyre, McIntyre Law, but he's off doing something right now. But hopefully he's back next week. But we love Dreamy Thurman just as we love Noble McIntyre too. So we gotta remember that. Alright guys, me and Jennifer Lee and my Dancing with Wolves floppy disk book are gonna keep hanging out. Bye guys, see you next time, see you next Monday, bye.